Hello everyone, this is Bill and welcome back to Tech Talk with Bill. In this JavaScript full course, we are learning how JavaScript thinks, not just how to type code. And today we're going to clear up something that confuses almost every beginner. What is the difference between a while loop and a for loop? And as we move forward, because previously we have discussed about for loop, so you can have a comparison when to use a for loop and also a while loop. If you're coming back from a non-technical background or coming from a non-technical background, loops can feel intimidating and confusing. And the key word I would say, daunting. They look like something you need to memorize, but here's the truth. Loops are not about syntax. Loops are about repeating. And this lesson is for absolute beginners, career shifters, and anyone who has seen loops before but never truly understand them. And if you're new to this course, I'd like you to pause the video and make sure you've already watched the developer environment setup so you can follow along, link at the end of the screen. And if you want structured long form learning like this, consider joining as a channel member. It directly supports the channel and unlocks deeper walkthroughs. Before we touch code, let's talk logic. A loop answers one simple question. Should I repeat this again? Again, again, and again? Yes or no? Yes or no, yes or no. That's it. JavaScript does not count. JavaScript does not because JavaScript checks a condition, runs code if the condition is true, and checks the condition again, stops when the condition becomes false. Both while and for loops do exactly the same thing. The difference is how explicitly you want it to be. What a while loop means, while this condition is true, keep on going. You will use a lot while loop when you don't know ahead of time how many times something will repeat. You want the condition to be the focus. And in this goal in this code, it will print numbers from 1 to 5. On a line-by-line explanation, you will need a starting point, and this is where you initialize a count, which starts from 1. And JavaScript will ask, are you meeting this condition? Is this true? In every loop, you'll be counting and showing the current number. You'll be printing the current value. And as you move to line 11, this is critical. Without this line, the loop will never end. And I'd like you to run the script so you can basically experience when the condition stays true until count becomes 6, then the loop stops. In real-world analogy, for a while, think of it as a fuel gauge. While there's a fuel left, keep driving. You don't know how many kilometers you'll drive, but you just keep checking the condition. And that is the while loop is all about. So what does a for loop means in English? A for loop means I know exactly how I want to count. You use a for loop when you know the starting point. You also know the ending point, and you are fully aware how the value changes each time. A for loop bundles everything into a single line of code. So the goal in this code is to print numbers from 1 to 5. It is the same result, but on a different structure. On a line-by-line explanation, inside the parentheses, you will see it has the var initializing the variable count, which is the starting value. And as long as this is true, the condition will keep on looping. And on the third line, you will see how the value changes each time. All three are the same pieces we use while using the while loop. They are just grouped together, and the output is identical. I want you to run the script and try them and tell me in the comments what is the actual output. In the real world analogy, in a for loop, think of counting reps at the gym, like start at 1, stop at 10, increase by 1 each time. That's a for loop. And let's make it crystal clear so you have a firm understanding. A while loop is condition focused, more flexible, and you must manage the counter yourself. Easier to create infinite loops by accident. A for loop is counter focused, cleaner for counting, it's hard to mess up, and it's preferred for known ranges. And I'd like you to go back to my previous video talking about for loops, where you can see that we declare the length of an array. And this is an important truth. JavaScript does not care which one you use, but humans do. And I'd like to show you a common beginner mistake. This will never end. You know why? Because count never changes. The condition is always true. As a best practice, I like to always ask yourself, what will make this loop stop? If this explanation is helping things finally click, consider joining as a channel member. Members get access to longer, structured lessons designed specifically for beginners and career shifters. And if this still feels confusing and daunting, this is completely normal. You're learning a new way of thinking. Here are the rules I want you to remember. Use for when counting. Use while when waiting for a condition. Never write a loop without a clear stopping point. Understand the flow and don't memorize the syntax. JavaScript rewards clarity and not being clever. In summary, today you've learned that while loops repeat while a condition is true. For loops repeat with controlled counting. They do the same job but communicate intent differently. Loops are about decision making, not repetitive magic. Key takeaways: I'd like you to focus on logic and not keywords. Always know how to loop, understand how a loop ends, and read loops like sentences. And if you're coming from a non-technical background, this is exactly how you should start. Join as a member if you want deeper lessons. Continue to the next video in the series. And if you're new, make sure you've watched the environment setup tutorial. You're doing better than you actually think.